Lyle to the sile, boys. Lyle to the sile.
Hey, welcome back, my friends, to the show that will end in one more week, I think.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to our mini series.
Yeah, our
that might be. We don't know anything about if there's going to be any more. We hope.
Yeah, we haven't heard yet. We have
we really hope there is.
The last thing we heard was that there is going to be a new season of Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Another season, because we know 11's coming out.
So 11 and 12 are in our future at least.
Correct. So hey Tiara.
Hey.
What you been up to? Huh? What you got going on?
What do I have going? I don't know.
All right,
we have a new couch and it's awesome.
We do. It's very
I'm really
comfy.
happy about it.
We could fit 3 people and 2 dogs on it.
Yeah. What is that? Even our king size bed, we can't do that. What is that?
It's
what's a grown up couch? How did that happen?
I don't know how that happened. I hit the button twice, unfortunately, but
that's okay.
We'll fix it in post. Right. So if you want to find us in places, you can go to our Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Tumblr at How Are You Now Pod. You can email us at hosts@howareyounowpod.com or howareyounowpod@gmail.com. We also have a phone number where you can leave us a voicemail with any questions or comments or Tiara's favorite thing, dad jokes.
Please. I need them.
At 30450 Ferda. And if you was unaware, we're part of the Podskier Podcast Network. Please go check out all of our shows on podskier.com. You'll find them all there. Also, thanks to our good boys over at Light the Lamp for our music. Go check them out in all the places that they are. They're on the Twitter and on the Bandcamp and on the Facebooks and all that good stuff. Also, if you are watching live today through YouTube, I don't know if other ones will do it. I know YouTube will. If you want to leave comments as we're going through the episode, please do. And we can bring them up on the screen if they are appropriate. I know we got one last week where it was some spam that came through.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the first one?
That I've seen so far, yeah. I mean, live anyway. Yeah. I have seen them, pop up randomly about, are you not staying hard or or all those kinds of fun things that you like to get. But
want to grow 7 inches overnight? Undernight.
I like that one.
Undernight.
Undernight growth. Also over at I wanted to give a shout out to our show over Disputed Podcast.
Oh yeah.
We had a little slight delay. We're having to put off the last episode we were going to be doing, which was Reacher versus Rama. Mm-hmm. We pushed that to the end of the season because our good buddy Ben got sick, and hopefully they're getting better. But our next episode, which will be in just a little less than 2 weeks from now, will be Assam from Warrior. Which Warrior
We're getting a new season, right?
Yeah, the Warrior series is awesome.
So
it's they're going to be starting up production on that next month in July. So that means we will be getting a 3rd season of Warrior, which is awesome. If you had HBO Max and I think Cinemax, you should be able to go find those there.
If you have any love for Bruce Lee, go watch this.
Yeah, this was
so good.
This is based off the treatment that he wrote for Kung Fu, which the TV
got stolen.
Yeah, Kung Fu TV show got stolen, and then had a Caucasian guy playing a Chinese man. Mm-hmm. So, David Carradine, love him, but that was
But anyway, fully Asian cast, except where the character needs to not be an Asian person, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And language, it blends back and forth between whatever the native languages and English in a way that's really kind of seamless. Like, and you know me, I have to have subtitles for Letterkenny, so usually something like that'll trip me out. But it's really cool.
It's
the way
awesome.
they've done it.
It's very awesome. And speaking of awesome, never fear, awesome is here in our comments. So.
Oh, speaking of, who is awesome going against? I don't think I interrupted you before you got to
when you mean in Disputed?
Yes.
Oh, well, awesome will be going
awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Right?
Awesome will be going against John Wick.
Ooh.
That's gonna be a tough one.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Okay.
Two excellent fighters at different times. Huh?
No dogs die.
No dogs die in this one. So anyway, hey, we got a guest today, a new guest, a brand new guest. So this will be our second brand new guest of this season, and we would like to introduce her right now. So hey, Amy.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, just peachy. It's hard to get away from the how are you now?
I know.
Right. So that's kind of why I do the so. So Amy, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I am a year-old Letterkenny fan, I should say.
All
maybe.
Right.
I discovered it by accident. My husband threw something on. I had no intention of watching it. And then I was like, wait, what did they just say? And then the rest is history. I don't know. I'm kind of a shit poster on Twitter, as you have noticed, I think.
Wow. Shit posting is excellent.
Love it. Nothing better.
Unbelievable.
And yeah, it's hard for me to become a fan of anything, I think. I might like some things here and there. So I'm kind of surprised at how I've kind of attached myself to this Canadian world here.
Yeah, it's very different, and it's I think it shows how we are the same in some ways, and then the things that are different, and I think it's beautiful.
It's also it's wholesome TV without being cloyingly sweet or anything like that. Like you have sweet moments, but there's like real life situations that are joked about, but it's still real life, and it's not. It doesn't. Like, I don't like wholesome that much, like not, like Hallmark movies and that kind of thing. Really, way too sweet.
Which all seem to be filmed up in Canada as well.
And a lot of Letterkenny actors are also on a lot of Hallmark movies,
true.
And that's great for them.
And as well as Michael's.
And
Michael's is a Hallmark movie.
Mrs. McMurray, Dierks.
Dierks.
I feel like there was another one. But anyway, Melanie Stefani. That was the name I was trying to remember. Sorry. Mrs. McMurray. Yeah. So anyway,
Scrofano.
Thank you.
So without going into too much detail about this season, what was your feeling about Shoresy when you heard about it versus where you are now? I mean, so no spoilers or anything, but just kind of your general feelings.
I was a little apprehensive at first because I think it's human nature to not want change. You know what I mean? Like, is this going to be two Letterkennys going at the same time somehow? Like, how are they going to do this? And then the rumors came out of who was going to kind of overlap and who we would see. And I'm like, how are they going to do this? With all of it. And I couldn't fathom how one actor could play two distinct people in the same universe. How are they going to pull this off? We don't even see his face. I'm kind of disappointed that the black straggly hair disappeared. I was looking forward.
He still has a greasy mullet.
Also, apparently, Adrian Holmes, who was Bradley,
I knew there was
in a Hallmark.
I knew there was a fourth one. I knew
he's also Uncle Phil in the new
yes,
the new Fresh Prince. Anyway, go ahead.
But it seems to be its own entity. And it's a lot to take in. It's a whole, I think that a lot of the jokes with both series, maybe Canadians understand them and get them a little bit more than I do. There's a lot of context, I think, that like, okay, I might perceive the joke as one way, but they might know more into it because it's more of a cultural thing, maybe.
Sure.
Just when I thought I got Canadian East down with the subtitles from Letterkenny, there's a whole nother language of hockey to learn.
Oh, yeah.
So even with the subtitles, like I can hear what they are saying. I have no idea what they're saying though. Like I had to look up slang.
Mhm.
Like, what does this mean? The first time hearing Ferda from Letterkenny, I'm like, what is this? Who's Ferda? Like, it was
For the
very-
guys.
Yeah.
I kind of love hearing this perspective from someone who just started
Yeah.
enjoying it, because like I remember when we first were starting the podcast, I was literally like, okay, here's a word I didn't know. I'm going to tell you the meaning. Here's another word I didn't know. Like
Yep.
half of every episode was like new language
Yes.
that we had not
Yeah.
ever, and we had to like Urban Dictionary it or something.
Yeah, no, because and I still have it in here about when we get after the recap where we go through trivia,
Mhm.
observations, etc., and a section for terms, because that's still from back in season 1 where there's lots of
Yeah.
things that most
every
of
once
us
in a while we get new
Americans
stuff.
did not know.
Yep.
I
Right.
mean,
That was
so
a plus
Ferda-
coming in kind of late to the game.
Yeah.
There were plenty of blogs talking about this
Sure.
stuff already. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't feel nearly as stupid for not knowing what this was because you guys didn't either.
No, we
Right?
didn't.
Most
Had
of the
no
world
clue.
It was a lot.
Yeah. And you're honestly not for an American, you're not that late to the show at all, because it really has only been
Right.
here for what, like 3 years, right?
We started this in 2016.
But we found
I
it
think, or
before it came to
2017.
the US.
I don't remember.
We went to Canada to watch it.
Right. That's what we did.
And then Hulu got a
Yeah,
deal.
we went there.
We actually went across the border.
I mean, we lived in Seattle. We were close enough.
Sure. Exactly. And that's what we did.
That's totally what we did.
That's the story. I want to no questions
And
asked
I'm
here.
sticking
None
to it.
whatsoever. Right.
That's right. So yeah, it's definitely two distinct shows, even though it is
Mhm.
obviously a spinoff. It is
Mhm.
two completely distinct shows, and you can tell that in the way the writing is done. And Kiso writes both of them.
Mhm.
Or Tierney's in there as well. They're both in
Right,
there. Or
right.
yeah, but they definitely have a completely different feeling from each other, because I think it has to be. I mean, I'm sure Jared wanted something more. Definitely wanted to keep the humor, but wanted something more dramatic, because there is that in here. So that backstory line which we're going to see today with Laurence and JJ, and so yeah, it's all that stuff is kind of there's some intrigue and things that make you, oh, what's going to happen now, as opposed to it's in Letterkenny is joke heavy, a lot of quick repartee type of stuff. We're not that this isn't. I mean, they're especially between Shoresy and Nat,
Right.
firing back
But
and
it's
forth.
definitely slower and
Yeah.
more
It's paced.
precise than, it's not trying to fill 500 dick jokes into
Right.
a 2-minute period. Right. And that's something like Trevor would say, like, we need 5 more jokes about whatever, and like he will just like fire them out.
Oh yeah.
But like it's not like that.
Mhm.
You still have moments of that, but for the most part, that's like almost a side thing, whereas in Letterkenny it's a big focus. So yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah,
I
so-
think the soundtrack is very different in my opinion as well.
True.
The music is very
Cinematography.
Yes.
different. Mhm.
Buttrey does such an amazing
Yes.
job on both shows.
Yes.
And I think because he's so amazing at what he does, that he's able to really get that different feel with the cinematography, and he's brilliant. Guy deserves a
All the awards,
fuckload,
right?
a fuckload of more recognition. Because yeah, he's a good guy, and he's got a great eye, and we appreciates that about him. So
For sure.
for Shoresy.
For sure. Oh fuck.
She knew as soon as it came out. As soon as you started talking, you could see on her face. She's like, "It's coming."
She goes, damn it, I fed him the
I
line.
did. Oh.
All right. So last week, if you can't win,
Yeah.
don't play. We had our good buddy and resident Letterkenny joint boy, Rene Encarnacion, on board with us again. We found out a lot about Shoresy and his backstory. And we found out what happens when your team isn't able to show up. So how did y'all feel about that episode? If you can't win, don't play.
It was a big moment, I'm pretty sure that when he was saying like, we will never lose again.
Well, yeah.
And the difference between loving to win and hating to lose. Aha.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about hockey too. I know
yeah.
nothing about it. Whew,
Yeah.
this has been a journey.
Yeah.
Well, and in the last episode, the like, if you can't win, don't play was a big part of it too. That's, where he's like, well, I mean, we can't beat them without our studs. So
And you find
how
out
can
where
we like
and you
figure
find out where
out-
that comes from as
Right.
well with the Shore family reunion.
Right.
So
The
yeah,
brother, the
Big
Mo.
Mo.
That's
Oh.
right. Big Mo.
So yeah, I mean, you love seeing his family. I kind of wonder if at some point we're gonna see, why he got adopted or fostered or whatever. I mean, because there is. I mean,
we don't know anything about Wayne and
No.
Katie's background.
Well, we did, but
So
this
is more. This is already more than we know about them.
Oh, right.
Do we want more than that?
This is
Are we greedy?
This is the first
Yes.
time we have ever seen a parent.
A
Yeah.
parent. Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
We've talked
of a
about
main
that.
character. Yeah.
And they talk about I can't even remember from Letterkenny, the uncle, the dead uncle.
Oh,
Everybody calls him Uncle something.
yeah.
Uncle Eddie.
Uncle
Yeah,
A.
okay.
Well, and we did have Tanis's dad too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
In like season 1.
hmm
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
His estranged
the-
daughter.
Yeah, it's strange. That's right. Oh, yeah.
And then we had Mary Fred's uncle, but there's not like in Letterkenny
right.
itself.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of like, I don't know. They're all adults, but they're my age, so they're not adults because I'm not an adult.
right.
But there's no adult, like older adult presence. Like everybody's
Right.
just gone
I mean,
except the dicks.
yeah.
I mean, when you have kind of a divey bar, you're gonna have like 70-year-old alcoholics that are
Mhm.
always in the same seat. Like that's just gonna happen in any
Mhm.
freaking bar.
Anywhere.
Why is there none of them in Letterkenny?
Yeah.
Right.
Is it like what's the one where you reach a certain age and
Children of the
Uh,
Corn. Is that where we're
no,
going? That's
no.
where I went
Logan's
with it.
Run.
Logan's Run? Well, also there was one recently too where
I don't know.
Now I'm
I don't know, but
Anyway.
we'll talk about that on our next
Yay,
episode
horror
of
movies.
Letterkenny.
okay. Hi. Yeah. So
So how about we get into the deep dive of
do it.
This is season 1, episode 5. Hockey brings people together. So we'll start where we're at and then go to where we're to. Okay. As you remember, as we left off, the North Bay Norsemen were bringing out their entire crew on the ice to fight Shoresy in the gyms. That led back to the Bulldogs' entrance quarter, where we enter here just a minute or so later. Shoresy is catching his breath around the corner inside the tunnel. Is Born to Be Alive plays over the entire scene. Which is an awesome song from the 70s. After a beat, Shoresy rounds the corner, breaks his stick in half on one of the Norsemen's back, and re-enters the fight with the handle portion of the stick. He spears the stick in the back of another Norseman, where we see JJ taking care of another. Shoresy keeps moving and sticking and spearing until he gets to Michaels. Pulls his hair.
Yep.
He then goes to fight the guy that Michaels was just fighting, and then gets tackled by another Norseman. We then see Fish tackle the guy that Shoresy was just trying to fight. At the other end of the hallway, Nat hurries in to see the cacophony. She turns to her right as the door bursts open with Dolo, Goody, Hitch, and Sanger coming through to join in on the fray. After that, we enter the locker room where the brawl has been completed. The boys are all sitting having their sticks, basking in their post-brawl glory. Shoresy then tells how dumb it is for people to drop their sticks during a brawl because they're very useful. Just then, Nat, Meeg, and Zieg walk in.
What the fuck?
What?
What do you mean, what?
What do you mean, what the fuck?
What?
Huh?
What do I mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What?
Do you mean what the fuck regarding the brawl or what the fuck regarding everyone in here eating ice cream?
So
The last one.
yeah,
actually.
so yeah, they don't understand the ice cream, so that gets explained. But she's also pissed about Shoresy starting a brawl. Michaels then whines about Shoresy pulling his hair. Nat says they're looking at suspensions. Nat, not understanding, she asked directly,
Why'd you start a brawl?
If you can't win, don't play.
What happened to never lose again?
I know what happened to bums and seats.
Yeah, I know what happened to bums and seats. I brought you your bums and seats.
Yep.
Yep. So
And this will bring more.
right.
Mhm.
The conversation continues about how the program Shoresy had planned all along was run them up and fill them in. Sanger then looks at the team, pointing out how Fish, Summerfeld, and Whitey all jumped in and did their roles. He tells Nat that the Norsemen brought the fright to their tunnel, and that even though they didn't have their actual game, the awards the game stick to Fish. Shoresy wants to give it to the Gems, but the decision is made that there will be no sharing of sticks. Shoresy agrees to give Fish that Fish deserves a stick, but doesn't believe he deserves a full stick because he didn't play a full game. So he gives Fish the rest of his own stick, which is, I mean, he's still got most of it. Back in the tunnel, as Nat is and the girls are heading out, Michaels calls out for Nat and tells Nat that he wants to forfeit his pay for the fines because he really wants to win the respect of the team. And from there, we cut to the boys minus JJ are all sitting at the table at Pepe Panini. Sanger asks where JJ is. Dolo says he's at the Radisson. Just then, Laurence walks in. She asks where Frankie is. Dolo says he has no idea. and Laurence leaves.
Bro code.
No. And here's the thing. I'm not lying for you.
Nope. Yep.
So
True. Just say you don't know, and then you're not lying.
Right.
Technically.
So yeah, I mean, if you know, if I know where you are, I'm not. I mean, don't ask me to cover it up. I'm not going to lie for you.
Oh,
So,
that, yeah.
yeah. So anyway, Shoresy then asked the boys what happened before the game. Sanger explains how Phil and his crew rolled up on him, and then just then Michaels walks in, asks if he can sit with him. Very timidly, they allow it. The talk of the scrap with Phil's crew continues. The boys said that Phil said that this isn't over, and Sanger suggests that they don't wait for them, but go after them instead. Shoresy says that they can't allow that because he didn't want to get anybody injured with 2 games left in the season. Michaels then jumps in and says that they farm out the scrap by getting the Polichetti brothers to take on the issue. And being that his ex-sweetie is their sister, he'll go ask the favor. They all talk about how weird and frightening the brothers are.
Well, other than being enforcers, I mean, just the fucking look at them is like.
Now they look a bit like they've maybe touched an animal's junk before.
Yep.
Now, yes, they do.
Yeah.
And then you see.
Yeah. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But anyway, the decision is made that Michaels and Sanguinette will go meet them at the Caruso Club. The next scene is at the Caruso Club, where Michaels and Sanger are sitting at a table. Mercedes, Michaels' ex-sweetie, and Squeezer supplier for Sanger, comes to talk to him. As they ask her if the brothers will help them with their Phil issue. She goes to ask them, and they said they will, as long as they're given season tickets. Mercedes has her own requirement. She wants Sanguinette. So anyway, from outside of Shoresy's apartment, we see the door open. JJ walking out with Lesandre. Across the street, in the alley, inside a dark SUV, sits Laurence, watching the couple walk away. She is, you can see the look on her face is very displeased. So from there, we cut to Nat, Meeg, and Zieg walking into the no-show headquarters. They stop in front of 3 women who are there to hear their testimony about the brawl. The 3 women all start in on how they look, how stupid and ugly the sluts are, how stupid their team name is, and then they get into the particulars of the brawl. And real quick, these women are Nina, Danis, and Aki. But anyway, they get into the particulars of the brawl. They're certain that even though they only had one person on the ice, they knew it was Shoresy, and they can it doesn't matter that they are pretty sure that he would have started the brawl. They also determined that they can't spin anyone since the Bulldogs only had one player on the ice, and that they sent their entire crew. The Norsemen sent their entire crew. Then from here, we cut to Shoresy is back at roughing the juniors as he sends Corey and Liam to the box. Liam starts telling Shoresy how popular the Bulldogs are getting, and that he's even got a booster club now called the Bloosters. So for there we cut.
I love nerds.
Yeah. and by the kid Liam, I think so far is still the only U.S. actor on the show. So he's from Ohio as well. So so anyway, we cut to the crew of studs coming out of the Shoresy's building. We see a limo parked out front, and then we see Phil dressed as a turkey apologizes to the boys for being a turkey. He then apologizes for Greg, one of his friends there, who happens to be dressed as a donkey for being an ass. And finally for Jason, his other buddy, who's dressed up as a cuckoo clock for acting cuckoo. The boys accept the apology. Phil then tells them that the Polichetti brothers are offering to give them a ride in the limo. Phil and his friends will escort them by running in front of the limo on the way there. The boys hop in the car, take off. They arrive at the arena with Phil's crew singing, "Let's go Bulldogs, let's go, whoop whoop." Inside, the boys are just staring at the Polichetti brothers with their odd expressions on their face. Michaels is sitting between the two of them, and Michaels is telling him he's doing what he had to do. So the boys from there, the boys enter the back tunnel of the barn. Laura Moore is already there, spiking her coffee from her flask. Shoresy immediately walks over and begins flirting with her. She starts seeming a little bit smitten at Shoresy, and Shoresy notices this. He tells her that she needs to watch out because one of these days he's going to shoot a shot. She smiles and leaves. Sanger then calls for Shoresy. Next, we're in the workout room, and the boys are all looking at the new stuff. Hitch, all the new equipment they got. Hitch immediately says nobody's ever going to use this. Sanger then brings up the Sioux lineup. They're all call-ups, and he's got an idea on how to handle this with the team. From here, we cut to the locker room where Sanger is telling the players how they're being disrespected by this move. The boys chime in on how pissed everyone should be about it.
We're going to show these guys that nothing comes easy in the Sudbury Arena anymore. And guess how we're doing it?
What do you got, Sanger? What do you got?
Jim, you ready?
Yeah.
Good, because you're fucking going.
Yeah.
Jim, you ready?
Ready.
Good, because you're fucking going.
Yeah.
Jim, you ready?
Ready.
Good, because you're going.
Yeah.
Noel, got your legs on you? You're going.
Yeah.
Mitch, you feeling the puck tonight?
Yes, Bob.
Good, because you're fucking going.
Yeah.
And between the pipes, we got the guy who never misses. That's why they call him Marksman. Michaels, you ready?
I'm ready, Sanger.
Yeah. And Awesome just popped in. Sanger squeezer suppliers some superlative syllabic synchronicity. I agree. If there's anything that the universe loves, it's some alliteration.
The universe spelled Y-E-W, by the way.
You.
And,
that's going to catch on eventually.
Nathan Norman has popped in saying it was an awesome fight, though very reminiscent of Slapshot.
Yes.
Which I have yet to see. I definitely want to see it, and I will watch it after the season.
Yeah.
And then when we do our recap, I'll probably talk about it with Al since he's going to be on here. We're going to do a little cross thing with the produce stand. But yeah, and then
I love being able to do this at the same time as them now. Like this is so cool because they were a couple of years behind us, but they caught up during COVID, and so now like we're on the same page. Yep. And we're like, ooh, what did you talk about?
So yeah, and I think we purpose. I mean, I know I don't listen to them because I don't want to be.
We don't want to repeat whatever they're saying. I mean, we might have the same opinions, but we want to make sure there's no
right. I don't want to say, oh, that's a good idea, and then take it. But so no,
no swiping.
If it's if it's there. if it's there, we get it organically for each other. So anyway, so Awesome says the admin jokes are definitely aimed at me. I think she is the main admin for the main mod for the Letterkenny subreddit. So
Slapshot's on Hulu. We'll put it on the list.
Excellent.
Yay for being on one that we actually pay for.
So
I mean.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
I know.
I heard nothing.
Anyway, the boys are all super hyped, and the game is on. The boys, right as the first puck is dropped, get going, and the gyms are all starting, and then both literally and metaphorically, they fight through all three periods and win the game 4-0. Back in the locker room, the boys are celebrated as they do with a stick, and then fade to credits. Yeah. So let's get into what we all think about this and the thoughts, theories, and observations, and whatever you got.
Like overall, I love this episode.
Yeah.
There's so many little things in it. Anyway, Why don't you go ahead and start? Because I have like lists. I keep notes as I watch.
Yeah. Well, so and this is something, and I don't know if Awesome has found out yet. Now, up in the stands where the Polichetti brothers are, there's a guy sitting next to them. We didn't argue about it. There's nothing to argue. I just said, I mean, but Awesome thought the same thing I thought.
I know
that,
and Awesome's usually right.
Anyway, there's a guy sitting next to them who looks like Spencer Maybe. Now, Spencer Maybe is a guy who played Angie's new boyfriend and the
city guy.
The guy from the city. Dippity doo on top of his head, he's on a salad,
shit.
you know, all that. And anyway, Angie's new boyfriend, and I don't know why I can't remember his name. But anyway, it looks like him sitting up there, and you know, I think he's a friend of the show. He's been on a couple of episodes of Letterkenny. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's him. I know Awesome was going to check with him. She was going to DM him, slide into his DMs and see. But
how awesome is it to be awesome?
It is. It's gotta be
Slide into the DMs of one of the actors or producers of Letterkenny and
Awesome
get your
is unbelievable.
questions answered. Awesome is unbelievable, man.
Have you ever had
Awesome
Awesome?
to meet Awesome.
You know, one day I aspire to meet Awesome in real life.
Yeah, we've been talking and video chatting on and on for what, 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Isn't the internet crazy?
Yeah, it is. So that was one thing I noticed that just kind of stuck out at me. I mean, I saw that face when you watch it 5 times in a row, and you start looking at things that are not the direct stuff that's going on. You're looking at the peripheral, and you see things. You're like, was that
like in the last episode? The girl that was dancing with the character that was actually named, is she someone who's related to someone on the show? Is like.
So Awesome. Yeah, Awesome says no word yet, but it looks like him. You're trying to remember Troy. There we go. Troy is the name.
Yes. Thank you, Awesome. Awesome knows everything. Like we're just the face, you know. That's right. Awesome is like our fact checker.
he was a second assistant director in season 1.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's got a lot more directing credits than he has acting credits. So.
All right.
And I think he's been a stuntman as well a time or two.
That makes sense too.
Yeah. So anyway,
get yourself thrown into a pile of garbage.
Yeah, my thoughts on this are, you know, it's kind of cool to see all the little side stories of making this episode, whether it's, you know, the gals going to the no-show to talk to the gals of the no-show.
The way they all chirp them and how it, you know, is pretty much exactly how like the hockey players are to each other, and you know, they just have to sit there and take it because they are the elders in this situation.
Right.
But it's still circled around because of Nat's mom though, and they showed the respect for that. So they went for them. They broke them down just to build them up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was like, we have to give you shit. You know, we have to give you shit. Okay. All right. You're right. We know that you aren't going to be blamed for this. And we understand why you're doing this. And come here. We love you.
Yes. Let me see the pictures of your slut.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I love that at the beginning, they were like talking about how, you know, the new ugly and dumb sluts. And at the end, she's like, now. Let's see them. And I'm like, that would be me. All right. Let's see them now.
Yeah. And Meg is so fucking adorable.
Oh my god.
She's just
she's
too adorable.
Right. I love her outfit. I love her demeanor, all of that. Why do they keep saying that Zieg is dressed in, like, I mean, she's fully covered, and that really kind of threw me a little bit. Like, she's wearing jeans and a shirt and a jacket and like regalia, and like why that
I think they were more upset that, you know, how she comes out, you know, she's slouched and, you know, and then
not being proud and
put your shoulders back, you know, and that her makeup looks like someone farted it onto her face.
I'm going to use that. I promise.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So there was something else I had, the talk about, you know, the thing that I noticed, the rise of Sanger. You know, him coming into his own, and, you know, is basically he's taking charge. He's still, you know, talking to Shoresy more to get affirmation,
But
but he's
even like
confirmation.
like Shoresy's not adding to it. Like
No.
literally Sanger's like, this is what I'm thinking, and Shoresy's like, fuck yeah, yeah.
Well, even about the shared
all of it.
Well,
every time Sanger came up with something.
Well, no, he kind of fought, he wanted to give the stick to the gyms, and
he doesn't like fish.
Yeah, I know that, but I think he's you can sense that part he's wanting to give that over.
Yeah,
and he's coming to his mind that's what he Sanger needs to take a hold of this, and he's coming to that conclusion very quickly. So I do like that.
The days of shut the fuck up, Sanguinette, may be coming to an end.
Yeah,
I think so.
What else you got?
Well, speaking of fish,
yeah, go ahead.
I really think it's funny that how much Shoresy just lays into him being like so ugly and all that, and I know like logically it's because he's kind of pretty, and hockey players aren't generally pretty, so it's like, okay, dude, you're the prettiest one in the room. What the fuck is going on? Like hockey players lose teeth and have scars and bruises, and he's always just pretty. Like I feel like that's why that animosity is there somehow.
He hasn't lost a tooth yet.
He hasn't lost a tooth. I think this is the first time he like got hit in the face with something, maybe because he was like Shoresy's like, oh,
he's holding his stick on his forehead.
Yep.
But Fish. He is one of the better looking ones. I know lots of.
I mean, I haven't really looked super close to them.
Dennis is Canitio Horn's sister.
Ah, that's so awesome.
Wanique Horn Miller. So yeah, I was kind of wondering if there was a Dennis, if the Dennis was somehow connected to Dennis. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, in life, I think Dennis or Kenny, however you say it, I don't want to disrespect the name. I think she took a bullet for Tannis IRL.
Really?
I might be mistaken on that, but
I have not heard that, and I'm sure if
somebody will let me know if I'm wrong. I'm sure
Awesome will pop in, and if she knows, I'm sure. But
about a protest, I think.
Oh yeah, well yeah, because Mom Horn was definitely she was back in the day, not so much anymore because she's an older lady, but definitely an activist. So that would not be surprising to me at all, because Theo is definitely an activist.
Mm-hmm.
So
sorry, now I'm looking.
Are you trying to find out?
I have to. Oh, sorry.
Anywho's.
Sorry.
But yeah, and I think my other thing about this episode that I really liked was the Shoresy Laura Moore.
I want to know more. I need to know this backstory for sure. Like how Shoresy, the one that wheels the mothers of Letterkenny. How is he so smitten with Laura?
Okay, wait, what you got?
Wanique also was an Olympic athlete in Canada.
Wow.
Water polo, women's water polo, won the gold medal in 1999.
Nice.
The first Mohawk woman from Canada to ever compete in the Olympic Games.
Okay, there it is.
There was something.
Wanique took a bayonet to the shoulder to protect Canitio during the Oka crisis.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Badass.
That's a
fuck yeah, badass. Okay, yeah. I'm so glad it was that one, to be perfectly honest, because she's my favorite of the three of them. Like I now knowing that she's younger than me though confuses me a little bit, but
well, I think they made her look.
Oh yeah,
made her look to be like the older auntie.
They definitely aged her
up. Her bodysuit, the jean bodysuit
tuxedo, the Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah. She got some nice legs though.
Mm-hmm. What were you going to say right before I went?
We were just talking about Laura Moore.
Yes.
I love
that story.
I love that whole
they are so fucking cute together.
Oh my God.
And
when she notices his tooth and then like comments about it and he takes it out and then when she laughs and I'm like, oh my God, that's such a good flirt right there. Like I felt that flirt. I was like,
something's gotta happen. We're rooting for it.
Yeah, I ship it.
So it is written.
That'll be the next series. Shoresy loves Laura. That'll be a total sitcom.
Oh my God, you just gave Trevor an idea if he's
There
listening.
you go.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. I definitely want to know the backstory. Not like I said this before, I can't remember what episode, but we talked about it, about like thinking Laura, because she has a child, it might have been that she's the reason why she doesn't date sluts is because she dated sluts and that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
And now she's a single mother. And just, doesn't have time for any of that shit anymore. And so like at the beginning of the season, like she's just like, shut the fuck up. Like you are just another one of those. And like, as he pursues her more and more, she's like, why do I like this?
Yeah. I mean,
like, you can see that like, I shouldn't be enjoying this.
well, because she's smiling and she is kind of reciprocating a little bit.
Yeah,
she's giving him an inch.
It's that
starting
that
out.
whole like, God damn it, I'm into this. Like, I'm pissed, but also I'm gonna flirt back because I'm pissed. Why am I attracted to you?
And like, it's no secret.
so much.
Like, we know that Shoresy gets around.
Oh,
right,
That's
right.
been established.
Yeah.
Already. So she's like, no.
Right.
But you're cute.
We know the stories. We
Yeah.
know all the things. We know that what was it? In the first episode, like she knows about him taking down her buddy's mom's,
Riley and
Jonesy
Riley's
yeah.
mom. Yeah.
But she didn't mention, she said his buddies. And first of all, they're not my buddies. Second of all, they were wheeling me. Which I think is valid because he's like, hey, I wasn't just sleeping with them to sleep with them. They were just sleeping with me.
They
to sleep with a
started
hockey
it.
player.
So dumb.
Right.
But like, that's his mindset. Whereas now he's like, I don't care about any of them. I just want to flirt with you. And one of these days I'm going to show you
so
that
good to
I
you.
can do. Yep. One of these days
So
you'll
good.
realize that I'm going to be so good to you. And I would be like, I would
Moment
be your
that
servant
lasts a
forever.
lifetime.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds like something Dean would say. So that's probably part of it.
Oh.
you know,
I'm a sappy fucker.
Yeah, he is. It's really kind of adorable.
I can't wait to see. I'll get the popcorn.
we were 15 years together and we still refer to each other as gross and diabetes inducing to our friends. So
I feel it. I got about 10 years with mine and we
Yeah.
get the same thing.
that's
Didn't
good.
expect it either.
Right.
We were not those kind of people.
Yeah.
Oh
We are
no,
now.
not before. Jesus. I don't even like being hugged most of the time.
Dad, I say it all the time.
One more thing that I want to bring up is the gyms. The
Love
gyms.
Oh, they're
I
such
gotta agree.
beauties.
Yeah, they're such beauties. I mean, yeah, they walked out without a
Scratch
scratch
on
on
them.
they gave it. They just gave it. I think the gyms could beat Homelander.
We may or may not have caught up on the boys last night, and that's why that's on his mind.
But yeah, the gyms. I mean, in the talk about Gym 3, talking
Yes.
about
Exfoliating.
exfoliating and moisturizing. But we'll talk
Hydrating
about
him.
that later.
So a little like supposition on my part, but the way that Shoresy kind of sneers at the Polichettis having police in their name makes me think that it's canon that Shoresy thinks all cops are bastards. So I'm putting that out there in the midst of all of the protests that are happening about all of the things, not just the one thing, but all of the things. I kind of love that was kind of dropped in there in a not like, it's like with Letterkenny jokes where they're being a lot more leftist than a lot of Letterkenny viewers seem to pick up on.
Yeah,
Like, I felt like
which
that was
blows
one of
my
those.
mind.
Right? And
How do
still
you
to
not
this
see
day,
Mhm.
like, especially like people who've been watching it for a while who still don't get that they're actually like hard right Jay. Like, how do you not understand that? You are the degen from up north. Like,
Seriously,
Mhm.
seriously, figure it out.
They can't.
anyway,
Anywho's,
how do the Polichettis communicate? Is it
They-
telepathic?
ESP, right?
That's right. Like their sister went over there and like looked at them. We can see that their mouths are not moving.
maybe
There
they-
was no speaking. She went like this and then came back with the message.
Or maybe they had already written it down and they were like waiting for her to come back, and then they're like, this is what we want, we'll do it. But
she listened to them,
I know. Thank you. I know.
not saying anything. Like, I don't know how this is gonna work. And then the one brother, the one with the extra weird sprinkled all over him, he was super extra weird in the limo.
The one who like his eyes changed. There, one of them was pretty much the same the whole way. And
yeah,
one of
there's the
them
one
was
who's just like,
Super.
I can't.
By the way, I looked them up. I looked
really uncomfortable.
I looked them up, and both the actors up, and they're both good-looking
Yeah,
guys.
they are. Like he showed me, and I'm like, really? That's the same guy.
Get out of here! Right? Well, I guess
Seriously.
I have homework now.
Yep.
I have to see this. I don't believe it.
Yeah, no,
True.
I would not have believed it at all.
Yeah. I'm like, wow.
Impossible.
That's
Like the Andy Kaufman looking one did not look anything like Andy Kaufman.
well, because the one who has his mouth real wide open, I said, because it's hard to tell, and I was like, is that Jacob Tierney who's doing?
I didn't think it was Jacob Tierney, but I thought maybe it was the dude from Portlandia whose name I can't think of.
Here's the answer, Nathan, because they're master ventriloquist.
Yes, totally. That's gotta be.
What
it.
you mean,
It's gotta be-
ventriloquist?
I think it's marionette.
Marionette.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would just like to be on the record and say, God damn it, JJ.
Yeah.
Like it's like what I said in the last one. Like, don't if you can't be
Don't.
monogamous, be open about that.
Mhm.
Okay. Don't get into a relationship with someone who expects monogamy if you can't do that, first of all. Second of all, don't have this person that is assuming monogamy with you come to visit you in another city and then have someone else from another city come and visit you and spend time with them, knowing that your girlfriend's probably looking for you. Like, how dumb are you, JJ? Oh,
I wonder if
Happens
he
every
even
day.
thinks about it.
right?
I don't think so.
I'm so like enraged about it because like I like the big cuddly redheads, and I was just disappointed that JJ is such a douche.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take Laurence over
Oh hell yeah!
Lassonde. Anyway, so
I mean, Dean, you and I have the same type, though.
redhead, redhead, chin dimple. Oh Lord, blue eyes.
You with
Good
the chin
God.
dimple.
Yeah,
with
I don't know why that is.
Anytime. It's so funny.
Mm,
Not a typical trait that I hear
Right,
men
No.
right.
find
That's a-
attractive. Ooh,
No.
boy, look at
Not
that
one that
chin
you
dimple.
hear.
it's there's something
They
about
get
that.
all up
kinda,
in that.
He definitely does that.
I'm gonna lick your chin dimple.
Yes, dear.
Yeah. Get a chin dimple, I'll lick it. Bring out that chin dimple.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Awesome says I would not cheat on Laurence.
Right.
Like rip to Frankie, but I'm different.
Right? It's like cheating. No, just if you cannot be monogamous, don't be with somebody who expects monogamy.
No, they said he had a friend who I'm guessing is talking about the chin dimple liking
Oh.
on his rugby team.
I got confused. It came in right after I would not cheat on Laurence, and I had a friend like that on my rugby team. I'm like,
I mean, I definitely in my lifetime have known people like JJ, which is probably why I'm so goddamn fucking idiot. Like, there are ways to do that if you
Yes.
don't want to be like, come
Yep.
on, just be grown up.
it is 2022.
Right?
Come on.
It is 2015. No, it's not 2015.
It's not 2015.
Can we go back to that though? That was a good. I mean, it wasn't a good year, but it was the last good year.
Yeah. Anywho's.
If maybe things can change. Let's butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho's.
Let's do it.
So
oh,
Yeah, so-
Michael's.
Michael's,
The
you're-
way, like I get. I hate that he had to go like do so much to win the team over, but I fucking love like from the moment that Sanger includes him in that cheer to the end of the game when Shoresy comes over and taps him on the head for saving goal. I was like, that man is now accepted.
one of us. One of us.
Yes. And I thought that was sweet because he's still annoying as fuck, but like he has his heart in it now.
Yeah. I have a question. So me, for you, I am very much a giver. I give of myself a lot because I like to take care and all that kind of stuff. Michael's is not drastically different from that. So why is how he is frowned upon versus what I am? Just out of curiosity.
So, well,
There's
you
a limit.
Yeah. Think about that person in the office who always is smiling and happy and like wishes you a good day and like everything is, you find the bright side of everything. And like that's Michael's. That's, that's not real life, first of all. Like you can't be like that all the time. And he is. Like at the point when he's finally cut from the team, all he is whining because all he was that persona. And like now he's like, okay, well, I want to be a part of the team, and that's not how I'm going to be a part of the team. What can I do in who I am to be able to do this? So like what he did was he basically took the biggest L of his life to go back to his ex-girlfriend. I don't think it had to do with anything other than he went to his ex-girlfriend and said, hey, the team needs help. This is my team and my team needs help.
Awesome says it's because he lacks self-awareness.
I don't know if he lacks self-awareness or just doesn't care, which are two very different things. Because like I can definitely seem like I lack self-awareness.
I think he lacks a personality.
I think he doesn't have his own personality. I think that
his personality is tied up into whoever he's with.
Yeah, whoever this person wants him to be or thinks that he is.
But he's using that with the team now.
He is now using, yes, it's the same, yes. But he's, instead of trying to be everybody's buddy, he's trying to actually be a part of the team.
Right.
Which before he was just trying to be everybody's buddy.
Right.
I'm going to prop up the ones that aren't doing a good job. I'm going to, tell everybody they did a good job when they just lost to nothing. Like,
right.
Again, that's not real world.
It's five goose.
Whatever. I love you.
See, all this terminology, it's a whole new language.
Yeah. So I think what it really comes down to is, and I'm saying this, I don't think he's autistic in any way, but it's a very autistic thing to do, to script everything and to think that this is how you have to act in certain situations and things like that. I feel like that's him. I feel like up until the point when he loses everything and then really starts thinking about what a fucking mess he is and he has no life and no personality and no friends because he was just trying to please everybody instead of being himself.
He's awesome says he's such a fucking peacock though.
Yes.
Drama queen.
He's a peacock, yes, but that has nothing to do with lacking self-awareness. That like
Hayden says I think he's too scared to be himself so much that he doesn't know who he is himself. Yeah.
I think that's what it is, and that's where the aggrandizement comes from.
Right. And then he has not developed a personality of his own. It's always tied to someone else.
He wants people to like him, and he doesn't know how to do it any other way than going all in. And we saw it with Derry with Anik. He wanted that so bad that he did a little too much and it blew up. And so that's what's happening with this dude, just because he just wants it so bad.
But the difference being Michael's is seeing his own actions as being part of the problem, whereas Derry was like, why is she upset?
I'm gonna go there.
She told me to give her space. So like Michael's is like, why do they hate me? Oh, because this is what I do. Oh, well, maybe if I try not to do that. And then like hanging out with them for one.
Yeah.
He never hung out with them.
Right.
That doesn't make you a part of the team. Well, what if I hang out with them? What's going to happen? Well, they might make fun of me. Okay. They do that anyway.
They do that to each other for
so
sure.
By taking that chance, which is probably something he never would have thought to do before he got to this point, the rock bottom and then trying to come back up. Like, I think he's like, okay, I'm going to try something new and see how it goes. And he's actually able to start making friends that way. The team starts to respect him in that conversation. Right.
And he was the coach before, right? And so he has a whole new dynamic and a whole new role.
He's a player and then a coach and then a player again. But he was a terrible coach. And he was only like he was Sanger and Shoresy's coach. He wasn't the coach of any of the other studs.
Not the new studs. The old
no, it's okay. We got to remember we watch these episodes so many times.
Shoresy's still new because we still have Letterkenny in rotation.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
So
but I think and there's a reason I asked that question. It wasn't because I didn't know. it's because there are guys out there who actually think that way. And
most of the time what they think is that they're doing what other people want them to do to be friends. And what really is being inauthentic in itself makes people not want to be your friend. Like,
And
at
that-
least with me, I can tell when you are fucking acting, man. Like, I can tell when somebody is not like comfortable in who they are and what they're doing, and it makes me not want to be around them.
Yeah, and so what happens with a lot of these guys?
Oh, it's our fault. It's
well,
you know,
that this is where
not
this is where
theirs.
a lot of the incels come
Yes.
from. Oh, I'm such a good guy. I was always a good guy. I did this thing.
Are you though?
Yeah, exactly.
I did all
Are ya?
these things that
That's-
I thought you
so
wanted without
instead-
asking if that was what you
So
wanted.
instead of reevaluating yourself and
Mhm.
working on that, and then you just pity. You put all the pity on yourself.
Yeah. Made it all about you instead of seeing that it was about you, but not in the way you think it is.
So Nathan says, I think he's too scared to be himself so much that he
Right,
doesn't. Oh, I brought
Yep,
that one
I
up.
was-
So this one, he didn't critique enough as a coach,
Yes.
so the team could not improve. So
Absolutely.
that's-
You cannot, it's not real life. You cannot be all positive,
it's-
especially in a teaching role.
It's
in a
very
leading
much
role.
it's very much the same premise of how I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. I kind of lost myself along the way. How Shoresy was telling Sanguinette that you can call me a stupid fucking cunt. I mean, because you're the coach. I would go to the wall for you. You would go, but you're allowed to call me a useless fucking cunt on the way there. And that's kind of the same premise. Is we're gonna do this. It's tough love. So it's just another version of the way you handle those relationships. I mean, so Michael's instead of being just a wallflower or a doormat, could have said, I don't really want to do that right now, or instead of something like, and taking some space for himself, because he just gave it all to Mercedes.
Yeah. Again, he wrapped himself up into this idea of who he was instead of actually knowing who he was.
Right.
He was Mercedes' boyfriend. He was the coach of this team, but he didn't do anything to nourish either of those relationships.
He was never Mark Michaels.
he was what was the first nickname?
Never misses the mark.
He was never misses the mark Michaels. And she's like, wait, what did she call him?
The birthmark.
The
birthmark Michaels. Birthmark Michaels.
Like, it's obvious that everything that he's trying to do isn't working, and instead of reevaluating, he was just digging in harder.
Yeah.
Which is not
As
productive.
a side note, I would like to see this scene of Sanguinette not in detail getting the squeezer, but how did this mass aqua dump? What was going on? This picture that they're painting for us.
That's coming.
Oh God.
You'll see that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the
in
next
episode
episode.
6.
Yeah.
Well, I have more
you asked
homework.
for it.
Oh
man.
boy. There's
Anything
so
else?
much I want to know.
Anything else we got before we get into our game?
I think that's everything I have. Anything else you want to bring up, Amy?
I'm good. Just happy to be
right.
here.
All right. All right. So let's get into our squeezer, mitts, or scratch game. So this is the game that we play that's similar to our Fuck Fight Ferda on How Are You Now, but it's also similar to Fuck Marry Kill. But this is where we decide, does the character deserve an underwater squeezer? Do they need to have the mitts dropped because they're gonna have a brawl, or are they a healthy scratch? So we're gonna start off, as we do, with Shoresy. So Amy, where are you on Shoresy for this episode?
For this episode, I think, well, he always feels that he needs a squeezer, so I'm going to pass on that option. I don't think he gets the mitts, but I think he's a healthy scratch.
All right. T.
I'm gonna say squeezer on this one. I think that that he let go of a bunch of stuff in this episode, like propping Sanger up and basically starting the fight, taking that one for the team, being like the whole start of the episode, knowing that some bad stuff could potentially happen to him as the only person as everybody else is rushing on. But that's the way you do it.
I do like that the gyms came out as soon as that.
Yes, as soon as that happened, the gyms were out there.
And they're pulling
they
him
were
back.
waiting. And making sure that, he was safe, and they got him into the tunnel, and like that's where we pick it up. Like, even though in the last episode we see the fight continue, what we see in this episode is after Shoresy's been pulled back and that they start getting into that tunnel, like, so we actually got like an overlap there.
Right.
So I thought that was really cool the way they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that that also I think he and Laura need to.
Yeah.
Need to go
And that's kind of
and-
that's quite why I kind of lean more Squeezer in this one, because of that whole
It was so
fucking Laura
cute.
Moore thing. Just
Seriously,
was
the
adorable.
tooth thing. It just, oh my God.
All right. So let's get on to Sanger then. Sanguinette.
I mean, he's going to get a squeezer in the next episode, I'm sure.
He's such a cutie patootie.
He's such a cute.
And that's their popular consensus. Everybody seems to be smitten with Sanguinette.
Yeah.
Squeezer.
All right.
I think he's really coming into his own as a coach, and like the confidence is building. I love seeing that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just like I think when they were approaching or wanted to bring the point of how they've started the fight, but it was Sanger that came up with the whole idea on how to kind of flip the script a little bit. And you can see he even, they showed him thinking, and then he was like, oh, so he is, like you said, stepping into this role, this leadership role. Whereas not too long ago, he was just shut up, just go away. Like,
Yep.
and he
was like the annoying little brother figurehead.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all I can see him as. He's just a cute little puppy.
I'm really, I understand that this actor and the character are definitely over the legal limit because, they're in bars and stuff like that. But holy crap, he looks younger than my stepson to me. Like,
I have a 26-year-old, so I'm like, I just want to give him Hot Pockets. Do you need a Capri Sun? I think you do. Right. Mhm.
I got some carrot sticks and ranch dressing.
And I don't know. I'm not
Juice
recalling.
box?
Not to say that he hasn't, because I'm sure they all have. I don't remember him in a big fight scene, or at least it's been a minute.
Well, in the last episode, he jumped into
He jumped in at the end.
where Phil and his crew were taking on
My
the other guys.
my headcanon is that him jumping in somehow turned the tide, and that's why they ended up running off.
Yeah.
Because
Nobody
then
wants
they'll...
Sanguinette.
right.
Beware.
Suddenly it was too much. So.
Yeah.
I can do
All right. Let's get on to Nat.
Big ol' squeezer. She took such a hit going to these women that she knew were going to tear her down, and she was taking the chance that they could do a lot worse. They could have suspended her players. They could have fined her a hell of a lot more money. And in the end, she stood up there proud and defended herself and defended her team, and
could have given them the loss as well.
Could have given them the loss as well. Exactly. So like
She hates to lose.
She hates to. She absolutely does, and she loves her team.
Yes.
It's about loving. Like I think she would have probably been like, okay, if you're going to give us the loss, we're going to fold, and that's it, because that was my word. But also, so that didn't make it as like a scary thing. But also, like, I think the other stuff was scary. We might still have to play just without Shoresy or something.
Yeah.
So, because playing without Shoresy could be a big impact on their team.
Yeah.
That's a fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Not knowing how it's going to go. She still went for it.
Yep. I think that's hard for me to do. So.
Yeah. All right, Amy, where are you on Nat?
Same.
Yeah.
And I love the dynamic with her and Shoresy. She doesn't seem very intimidated by him, and she gives it right back.
Oh yeah, it's like it's kind of like they're kind of like I don't know, Katie and Wayne in a way.
Yeah, very sibling like. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that like that whole first scene with the what the fuck? What do you mean? What the hell?
Yes.
And the writing on that was brilliant, very Abbott and Costello.
Yes.
So brilliant. I mean, that was almost like who's on first. So I like that a lot. So yeah, Nat gets a squeezer. Let's go on to Meeg.
It's kind of the same thing for me in this one. Like with Meeg and Zieg and Nat, they all went up there to face the music and to defend their team. Yeah, I think I'm across the board on all three of them.
Yeah. How about you, Amy?
Also, Meeg's so cute in that outfit.
Oh my God.
Same. Zeke and me kind of feel I mean, they add another facet to it, but they're still kind of an extension of Nat to me at this point.
Right? The fucking
There's my
Robert.
husband.
Aw,
Hi, Hubs.
that's a good husband right there.
He
Sure.
is. He is.
Your billet
see,
wife.
See, there's the.
I get it. I get it. That's
There's the
exactly what
super
this dude
sweet.
would do. If I was like on another podcast, he absolutely would go in there and be like, and I'd be like,
I was a little shocked. I was surprised. I'm like, Derek Moore. I know that name.
Right on. Good job,
I
Derek.
have a similar name.
You're getting some tonight, buddy. And so we're all are we across the board on all of the gals?
think
Nat,
so.
Megan,
Mhm.
okay.
I do want to mention, just on a personal note, how much Zieg looked like my sister in this episode.
Yep.
Like the outfit, the hair, the makeup. Like I already thought that she kind of looked like Grace, but this episode was the one where I was just like, yeah, I could see it.
Yep.
I could see it. So if you
Have to hit
because
you
you
up
don't
for
listen to
pictures.
our podcast, my sister passed away about 3 months before the plague started.
Oh,
So
sorry to hear.
grieving has been interesting during COVID.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Yep.
So
All right. So let's jump to the guy I think we're all going to drop the mitts for, JJ.
drop
Yeah, yeah. Enough said.
JJ, you fucking idiot, you fucked it up.
The look on Lorenz's face, you know,
Right?
like, what are you doing?
There, he's up for a bit of toe curling. A bit of yes, and
Yes.
Give me some of that. I don't even remember what they
Nyet.
say.
Nyet.
Nyet.
That Ohio macadamia nut.
There you go.
All right,
I'm
let's
gonna
go on
say
to
that too. I'm gonna look some stuff up because I can't recall it off the top of my head. And I'm gonna say it at just the right moment, and he's
Yeah.
going to love it
Yeah.
because that's how things work in this house.
Yes.
So let's go to Dolo.
Sorry.
Are there enough hands for a squeezer for him? I think that's the
Right. Like I love the dick jokes when they're not, oh, he's got such a tiny dick, he's not a man.
It's the opposite,
Like,
right?
It's the exact opposite, where they're like, the only person who could step on his dick is Dolo. And Dolo's like, eh. Yeah. I don't know. Other than fighting, what did Dolo do in this episode?
That's where I was at. I
Okay,
was like,
healthy scratch.
I don't know what to say.
So he
I don't know what to
did.
say.
He I mean, of course, they all love the gyms. And he was
Oh, the stick, the stick conversation was cute.
yeah.
The stick
Tabernacle.
Tabernacle.
Oh, that was at the end, but the stick conversations and jamais split the stick.
One day he's gonna say something in very clear English, and everyone's gonna go.
One of these days he's going to say
Polichetti
something in very
brothers.
clear French. So
Yeah, in actual French, not Quebecois.
Whatever he's doing.
Franglish. That's
It's all
right.
the same to me.
But yeah, I
can't
mean,
tell anything.
so he
I can barely
I'm
understand
still-
Canadianese.
Yeah,
Working on
I'm still gonna, like, this episode was not focused on the sluts.
not so much.
So I'm gonna say healthy scratch.
All right.
Because he had a couple good jokes in there, but like there wasn't like much of a storyline. And being someone who's been cheated on, the friend not saying, hey, you dudes, you can do better. Like, I don't know. I'm just nah.
All right.
Yeah,
Scratch.
I'm pretty impartial to him.
Yeah.
This,
All right.
this episode.
This episode.
Yeah, I'm with you. What about Goody?
What
You
was
ever,
the-
you ever seen a schnoodle?
And I was like, he usually just says about food. Is that food or is that a dog? I think same for me.
Yeah, I don't have anything notable,
Yeah.
notable for him.
Like, again, it's kind of all the sluts other than JJ, like they were there for the fights and everything was great. Like there's no reason to fight them, but also there wasn't much to them in this episode. So
Yeah,
Healthy scratch.
I will agree. With the exception of Hitch.
I know you're in love with Hitch.
Hitch always get the squeezer.
He's
for me.
he is a good character.
Yeah, I love
He's
Hitch.
funny. He's a good one. More
Hitch has
language
been
that I
your
have
favorite,
to
right? Newfoundland language is definitely
that's
a
a rough
whole other.
learn.
Yes,
Tommy's
nice.
nose.
Yes,
Those
Why?
boys.
why not leave them where they're at,
Oh,
and they'll
what's
come where
the-
we're to.
What's the how do you feel about really kind of silly cop shows that are set in Newfoundland?
Because there are so many of
There are
those.
so many of them. No, the what's the one that we watched, dude?
Are you talking about the show that you're comparing it to, or the actual
No,
show? Republic of Doyle?
Republic of Doyle. Thank you. So that's kind of how I
Is
started.
this
to
more
learn how
homework
to
for
hear
me?
it.
Is that what I'm getting here?
Well, if you want to learn about more about Newfoundland,
Yeah, I mean it's a cute,
At
it's a cute
least
show.
for
It's
the
really pretty,
language.
right?
At least
you
so
will
I can
see
understand.
you will see McMurray in it.
Yeah, McMurray's in it. Doesn't look
He's a
anything
piece of
like
shit.
that or sound anything like that.
Nope.
I can't.
What's
I
someone
don't know
else
if I
doing?
want to see now.
And he's got long curly hair.
Right. Right.
Kind of like, remember first season? And he had kind of like a mullet going on.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
like, what is
Yep.
this guy? With his Bieber, full Bieber.
Full beaver
That's
eyes.
right.
Full beaver eyes. So let's get back to Hitch.
He's great. He's great. He can get
So
a
you-
squeezer. Why not?
Squeezer.
Let's go for it. Yeah.
All right, squeezer.
Healthy scratch for me.
What about Laurence Leboeuf?
Oh, if she wants
gets a
one,
squeezer.
She gets a squeezer. Yeah.
She deserves all the
Damn it.
squeezers.
You can have
Right.
whatever she wants.
She should take all of JJ Frankie J's squeezers. She gets
There
all of
you
it now.
Yeah, let's go back to episode 1 and she can have that squeezer that
All right, Michaels.
He
squeezer.
gets a squeezer.
Yeah.
All right.
He's
he's
annoying, but he took one for he took the biggest L in his life. He went back to Mercedes.
I'm giving, for me personally, I'm giving him a healthy scratch. He's very much on the border to squeezer than to miss.
And
for
you
sure.
call yourself a giver.
I gave him a healthy scratch as opposed to dropping the mitts. So I'm feeling more positive about him, but not so much that I think he deserves a squeezer just
So
yet.
if he tones down the whining a little bit, if he doesn't talk as much,
Yeah.
how about that?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm with you on that for sure. He
Yeah.
definitely should talk less. But I think that his actions in this episode
Mhm.
showed that he is willing to self-sacrifice for the team and also reevaluate his own actions and things that he says and does in a way that shows potential growth. And so I think rewarding the stuff you want to see, like you do
Agreed,
with
100%.
children. I think that would be how Michaels would learn.
Murray looks like a young Roger Daltrey
Yes.
in Republic of Doyle.
Yes.
So for those of you who
Republic of
don't,
Doyle.
for those of you who
It's a
don't know who
it's a
Roger
cute show.
Daltrey is,
Yeah.
the lead singer of the Who.
Did you ever watch those like early 2000s USA shows like Burn Notice and
I don't watch anything. That's why I'm amazed that I even watched this. Like I'm full
Well.
in with it. I'm like, how did this happen?
Republic of Doyle is very
terrible.
similar to one of those shows. That's why I was
Yeah.
mentioning it. Like
Psych.
it's a lot like Psych. It's not great television. It's not Shakespeare in any
Got it.
way, but it's fun.
But it's enjoyable. Yeah.
It's fun, and the family is really cool.
It's a
I
good
like
time.
that family. So
All right.
Anyway.
So let's go on to Laura Moore.
oh, Laura Moore.
Laura Amor.
She gets a squeezer, but only if it's from Shoresy.
Ooh.
How about that, Laura?
Like I want to say
She's not
squeezer.
big
Like, I'm
in
not
it
on the
either.
edge of that. Like
Yeah.
she didn't really like the
Mhm.
flirting was more, and she was
Mm.
definitely more into it.
Yeah.
But it still was just that one
Mhm.
interaction. So I'm gonna say healthy scratch only because like there needs to be more
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Laura Moore.
All right. So
Season 2, Laura Moore, Laura and Shoresy. Lorsy.
Well,
There you go. Team
Terrible.
Laura,
Lorsy.
well, it's going to be like, yeah, because somebody did put out the meme that was
Or
Laverne and Shoresy.
Laverne and Shoresy, yes.
Laura and Shoresy. So,
And another one that I
gonna
told
do
Trevor he
it.
should write that.
yes.
So
So, let's-
So
I don't know how this one's going to go with the way it ends up, but Phil and his crew, Phil, Greg, and Jason. Are you dropping the mitts, or are you giving them a healthy scratch since they got their asses handed to them?
I really want to know what the Polichetti brothers did to get them to
Yeah.
dress up like that. Like, I kind of want to see that scene.
Okay.
I can't give
Like,
them anything positive, so I guess
Right,
they're gonna
like-
get the mitts.
All right.
Because they're only doing that. It's not like they came to apologize or something or make some kind of
like of their own
redeem themselves.
volition.
Right.
Yeah.
No, they and I really, like you said, I want to know how the Polichetti brothers pulled this off. Like they can't even speak, but they have these people not only there to apologize, but dressed up. Like what
And
did they
making
do?
a show of themselves and running in front of the car and singing while they're doing it. So like the whole town can see them.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is I feel like the Polichettis would be a really great spin-off on its own, because like they sound really fucking scary, but
Right,
also
like, what
really
is
fucking
this?
weird, which I'm kind
I'd
of
love to
into a
see
little bit.
Kiso write a drama about
Oh, I
the
would love
Polichetti
that.
brothers.
I mean, I know what enforcers do. they don't necessarily look like enforcers, which makes me think
Not
that
at
they
all.
are sick fucks in some
Right.
way.
Allegedly.
Look like they've touched an animal's
They
junk.
look like they've touched animals' junk.
All right. So anyway, Phil and crew.
Shit. I'm gonna say healthy scratch.
All right.
Mitts.
I can't.
I'm still done with them.
I get it. I get it.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but also like they did do the thing, so I don't know.
All right. Which then brings me to Mercedes.
I kind of want to say drop the mitts.
Well, you
Like,
can say that if you
I
want
know,
to say it.
I know that like she is unapologetically who she is, and
Mhm.
that's great. Like I support that especially in women characters. Let them be douchey assholes who
Yeah.
are going to treat their boyfriends like shit.
But
If-
nonetheless, she's still a douchey asshole. So
Exactly. I support her right to be a douchey asshole, but she is a douchey asshole.
You still don't have to be
So,
one.
so
And
like
she was
I
so
totally respect
obnoxious,
it.
like she knows that homeboy Marks was Michaels was upset with what happened.
Yeah.
But she was completely nope, I did it and I want some more. Like she's
I didn't
just
give a
throwing salt
fuck.
in the wound, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
In the wound. So
I want to say
don't
good
matter.
night.
I can't help but
But she
think
still helped.
that right. I can't help but think that her personality probably has not changed from whenever they started their relationship. Like she seems to me to be one of those people that's like, I'm not going to be monogamous, but we can totally be together. But I'm going to sleep with other people, because she doesn't seem to
You're
care
too nice.
about that. Yeah,
You gotta do something
exactly.
about this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I say drop the mitts,
All
but
right.
yeah,
I'm there with you.
yeah.
And Amy, were you drop the mitts?
I am.
Well,
I am.
Okay. All right. How about the brothers, the Polichetti brothers?
Who technically did not have any speaking parts in this, which
True.
was supposed
But-
to be the rule, but
But they did communicate.
They did communicate
I will give them
somehow.
that.
And they took care of the business. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
I'm gonna go out and say that they get
yeah,
the
yeah.
All right. Polichetti brothers getting the
Yeah.
squeezer.
squeezer. Which
All right.
still just that sounds so odd. Like I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that they get a squeezer.
We're not saying that they get one; they deserve one.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I suppose.
That's
They do.
No,
yeah.
they don't actually have
someone
to.
should provide that for them with consent.
All right. Real quick,
I
Nathan
guess
says
written
that
consent.
Burn Notice was awesome. It scratched the Bruce Campbell itch
Oh
I had
yeah.
when Jack of All Trades and Xena ended.
Burn
so-
Notice was great, and I watched it for Bruce Campbell, so I totally understand. But like, it's not the highest quality TV.
No, not at all.
So like,
Miami.
Sometimes you
it's
need
great
that.
for what it is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like that's the
Yeah.
all of those shows were great for what they were.
All right. And last but not least, the ladies of the no show, Aki, Dennis, and Nina.
I mean, they got to get the squeezer. They
They did what was right.
did
came
what was
around, right?
Yeah. Oh, I don't. I
they
think.
did what was they did.
I think they
exactly
knew what they
they
were
should-
gonna do.
Yeah, I think so too. I think when they walked in there, that the ladies had already decided what was going to happen. But again, they were like, "We need to give you shit.
Yeah.
We need
agree.
to cut you down a little bit." So, like, we understand what you're doing, and we actually support what you're doing. But this was a really shitty thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You need to know this.
Know your
So-
place.
Yeah, so I say squeezers because I
Okay.
think that they walked into there already knowing what they were going to do, and they just were like, all right. All right.
All right. And that's all of them. So, and we do need to get this wrapped up soon because we got to get on the road very soon.
I see that.
This went longer than I expected. I mean, it was
This
great
was
talking
fun.
with you, Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
a
was
lot of
fun.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
And I'm looking forward to
happy
doing
to be
this
here.
again.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Welcome to the universe.
Yay.
So final thoughts before we sign off here.
I know I'm interested to see how this story moves forward. There's so many unanswered questions about Shoresy's past, his family, Laura, how Sanguinette's going to step up more, what those fucking brothers are going to do and say. Like, I hope that they come back. I hope this wasn't a one time.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe not all the time, but if they're sprinkled in there sometimes and never say anything unless the timing is just right, it's going to be perfect.
Like, be the dicks. We get like let's have like 8 to 10 seasons of Shoresy, and they show up in like 4 episodes, and every one of those episodes is the best fucking episode.
Yes, exactly that.
Definitely.
So this is I'm liking Shoresy so far. You know what I mean? Like it was a very I was questionable. I was worried. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like how are they gonna
least favorite Letterkenny characters?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. So
Ani can suck a dick. But anyway.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe she can. I don't know.
She
probably can.
She's not sucking my dick.
She can give me a squeezer. Yeah, that's about it. So
all right,
next week will be the final episode of the season because we'll be having a recap.
Hopefully there will be more seasons ahead.
Yes, hope so. So season 1, episode 6, Don't Poke the Bear, with our very, very, very good friend and commenter today. Awesome. So we're looking forward to that. And so folks, like we like to do, we want to say thanks for joining us. And we will see you back again here next week. So
bye.
Take care. Thanks so much for putting your bums in our seats today. We really appreciate it. We're so grateful to our longtime Letterkenny fans for being with us this far. And we're also very grateful for any new folks who've chosen to join us. If you have any questions or comments, please send us an email to hosts@howareyounowpod.com or howareyounowpod@gmail.com. You can also reach out to us on Twitter @howareyounowpod. We'd love to hear from you. We want to give a big shout out to our pals over at Light the Lamp for providing our intro and outro music for the show. The intro tune is For the Win, and the outro tune is Miracle. You can find Light the Lamp on Bandcamp, Twitter, and Instagram. Please go check them out. Their links will be in our show notes. And as we like to say,
Shut the fuck up, Sanguinette.
Moments of